All right. Hey, everyone. James Gardner here with a long lost conscious conversation, bringing it back this beginning of this summer. And I want to share a little health and wellness discussion today with a colleague of mine, dear friend, dear colleague. Joining me today is Dr. Cobi Slater. She is from the Essential Health Wellness Clinic in Maple Ridge. And she is an amazing soul, a heart-led individual. She's been helping people in Maple Ridge for quite a number of years now, online, in person, with a bunch of different modalities that we're going to get into today. We're going to have an overarching conversation about fat loss today. However, we're going to park that for a moment. And first off, I have to always say Dr. Cobi because it just sounds so good. Dr. Cobi, welcome. And how are you today?
Great. Thank you, James, for having me here today. I'm super excited to unpack our conversation.
Yeah. So you have a clinic and you have a practice. This has been around for a number of years. So why don't you just maybe take a few moments, Cobi, and just introduce yourself to the community at large, and also maybe just shed a little insight on the clinic and what you're all about.
Yeah, thanks. So I am Dr. Cobi Slater. I'm a doctor of natural medicine. I specialize in functional medicine. So really, functional medicine is a type of healing modality where we really get to the root cause of your issues. So that's really where my heart lies. Like, I am insanely curious by nature. And so when someone presents in with a problem, I want to solve it. I want to get to the root. I don't want to just give them something for their symptom. I do not believe in a pill for every ill. I just want to get to the root and uncover it. I feel like if I could go back in time, I would probably be a pathologist because I just love, uncovering the layers of someone's issue. I run a lot of functional medicine testing in my practice. I don't believe in guesswork. I really believe in getting that proper information and just getting to the root of people's issues. I have been in practice for 18 years now, which is just crazy to even say because it feels like I've been in practice for a minute. I still really love what I do. So I have never felt like I've had a job. I get up every day and go sit with people. It's an honor to be a part of their journey. And I feel very privileged to do what I do, and I do not take that for granted. So in my clinic, we run all sorts of programs. We have different types of healing modalities for chronic fatigue syndrome and chronic pain. We do all sorts of laser therapy and PEMF therapy. I feel like we really specialize in our diagnostic testing, and we treat all sorts of patients, but really focus in on women's health. I have a PhD in endocrine dysfunction, so basically hormone specialist. So I see a lot of women between the ages of like 40 and 65. And those are my people. I love working with women. I love helping women just feel like themselves again,
I as you know, I work with a lot of women myself, and most of my clients happen to be women in personal and business development. And I know that the hormonal imbalance conversation comes up quite a lot, that kind of endocrine misalignment, I guess, that's happened through diet, through nutrition, through stress, through all these indicators. And it just seems, I don't know from my perspective, because I wasn't aware of this 20 years ago, 30 years ago, but it just seems like it's more of a common concern now than it was back in the day. Would you agree with that statement?
I definitely agree. I think it's partly because the conversation has been opened up. And I think like 2 decades ago, 3 decades ago or further, women were they were suffering with the same things, but they were just not talking about it. Gotcha. And so there's been a lot of different types of organizations throughout the world, really, that have been really trying to open up the conversation about perimenopause and menopause issues. And I think that is like a great first step, because my message is that you actually don't have to struggle through that transition in your life. It was really interesting when I was doing my PhD. I feel like the thing that stuck with me the most is I learned that in other cultures, as women transition through these kind of times in their life, that they really don't have any symptoms attached to it. They just transition through menopause and like that's it. But in North America, it's almost treated like a disease, where it's like, oh, she has menopause, and
Right.
she's struggling.
Right. It's true. It's
Yeah.
true. There's a stigma associated with it,
Hmm.
right?
For
Uh,
sure.
oh, that was a little sidebar because I just find it interesting. So PhD, and getting back to the clinic itself. So we have some different modalities and energetic modalities, scans, and so forth. And then even taking the hormones, for example, how do you work in terms of, do you incorporate plant medicine into taking someone on a health journey?
Yes, definitely. The first medical degree that I got was actually in clinical medical herbalism. So I am very fond of plant medicine. So basically, with any patient who presents in, I'm going to run some lab testing, and then from there, we're going to incorporate different plant medicine therapies, nutritional supplements, and lots of lifestyle. There's always an opportunity to pause and reflect and kind of ask yourself, how did I end up here? Is there anything in my lifestyle that has contributed to where I've landed with the condition or the symptom that I'm struggling with?
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So with your clinic, because I do want to segue into fat loss specifically in this conversation, because I know we could have a lot of subsequent conversations with the work that you do. First and foremost, a heartfelt congratulations to you, because your clinic was voted the top weight loss clinic in all of the Fraser Valley.
Yes.
So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And to your clients and the journey that all of them have gone on, because I do know you're going to share your success rate is very, very high, very high. And I'm interested about this because as a performance coach, as a former high performance athlete and coach as well, I know when I see this conversation about fat loss all the time. Every age demographic does not matter. And I'm interested in first to find out what it is you do, how you do. And I'd like to talk about the why. Why is it such a thing in this world today that it's top of mind for almost everyone? So
Yeah.
First off, tell us a little bit about what you do to help people on a fat loss journey.
Yes. Well, I mean, I'm just so grateful that I can run the program that I'm running. I feel like I've been on like a nearly 2-decade journey, really trying to crack the code on weight loss resistance. So I'm really speaking to the people that are already doing the right stuff and not getting any results. I'm not talking to the people who are, maybe needing an obvious lifestyle change, an obvious nutritional change. It's those people that come in and they're working out, they're eating the right stuff, and their body will not release weight. And like that has been such a passion for me for years. I wrote a book on it. I've developed a whole system. I've walked with many people through this journey. But a few years ago, I was able to bring in a program called Metabolic Balance. And like, this is just it. Like, I am so happy with this program. I am so confident in it. There's no hesitancy in me recommending this program because it works so well. It literally gives you exactly what to eat as an individual. So the first step in the program is that we actually run 35 different labs that are all related to the metabolic process in the body. Nutritional deficiencies, things that really fire the mitochondria and get that metabolism burning. And so these 35 different labs are ran, and then along with a person's, personal health history, maybe medications that they're on or conditions that they're struggling with, and even down to the foods that they like and don't like are considered into the program. There's nothing worse than being given a program and going, I hate all these foods. I cannot do this, right? So all of that is taken into consideration. And then a very individualized program is created for the person. So no two programs are ever alike. Metabolic Balance is actually a program that is out of Germany. And so all of the information is gathered for the patient. We send it off to the company in Germany. And then this beautiful kind of gift is given to the person about exactly what to eat. And it's so interesting because you're even given a specific vegetable list to eat, like, eat these specific vegetables because based on your lab testing,
right,
you've got some nutritional deficiencies,
right,
you've got some things that need to be, balanced out. And so it's all intimately scientific. And it works so well. There's 4 different phases to the program. So we sort of take you on at phase 1, which is more of like a sort of metabolic reset. And then we go into the real weight loss phase. And we stay in there until someone has reached their goal or they're pretty close to it. And then phase 3 is like a little bit more of a relaxed phase where we're kind of loosening the reins a little bit. And then phase 4 is the maintenance phase, which I love because anyone that's journeyed through weight loss, it's actually terrifying for somebody to achieve their weight loss goal because they're so afraid of, gaining it all back. And if you look at the stats, it shows that 95% of people gain the weight back. So there's only a 5% of people that actually maintain their weight loss. And the gap in the market is that people aren't told what to do once they reach their goal. And so this program, actually, you're given a maintenance phase, which is like, okay, you've reached your goal. Let's make sure that, you stay there. So the weight loss happens. That is inevitable. Thus far, my success rate is 100% with weight loss. The joy that I get is that the weight loss is great, but the other parts are much more significant, where people comment constantly, their energy has never been so good. They've never felt so good in their life. Inflammation gone, sleeping better, digestion, hormone balancing, blood sugar balancing, medications are reduced or eliminated, like no longer need cholesterol medication, blood pressure medication, whatever it might be. And that to me that's a significant honor to journey through someone with that and just see them from the beginning, that first appointment where they're just feeling so hopeless, to journey with them through, and they're literally transformed. And the ripple from that, like they become such a better version of themselves, a better spouse, better parent, better, sibling, teacher, career, whatever it might be, it changes the world in a small way. So it's pretty great.
I love the you're using like crack the code and this kind of individualized assessment, because I've seen that from an athletic standpoint. What physiologically works for one athlete is not going to work for this athlete and this athlete to maximize his or her gains. And it is going into a mad scientist mode to figure that out from a coaching perspective back in the day in my rowing world to really maximize everyone's potential. And even though I have a very layman's understanding of nutrition intake in terms of its effect on the body and the physiology, it makes sense to me. It makes sense that everyone's body is unique. And if we can find that code that works whether it's for weight loss or sports performance or life performance, right? I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
That to me is something that jazzes me up as well. And you said at the beginning of our conversation today that you just love what you do, and you can see that when you're just explaining this whole process, and it lights you up, the joy that brings you to help others on the journey. This metabolic balance, this kind of 4-phase journey that you help put people on. Now, is it predominantly nutrition? Is it all nutrition, or is it some supplementation with plant medicine? Is it a combination? What's the overall?
It's like the actual program is completely nutrition based, which I absolutely appreciate.
Nice.
The power is incredible. Along the way, obviously we're running some pretty in-depth lab testing. And so if something comes up on their labs that we want to address, I'm obviously going to recommend some nutritional therapies, some plant medicine or specific supplements to bring some extra balance in those areas. But the actual program is 100% nutrition based. There's no, magic bag of supplements that you have to buy each month.
Right. I like that. And I know that the time duration will vary depending on the person and their goals. Can you give the viewers just maybe a sense of some of the time frame that they would be looking at on this journey?
Yeah, definitely. Like for the majority of people, it's about a 3 to 4 month journey.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's just a lot of guidance along the way. I think that's the other part that sets the program apart from other programs, the science behind it, the lab testing, but also just the guidance and accountability. We check in like every week or every 2 weeks, and there's just a lot of support along the way, and that accountability piece. You're not just given like, here's your plan, off you go, right?
Right.
People need that support. Like, it's hard to make the lifestyle changes. There's all sorts of roadblocks that come up, and life throws us, into a tailspin sometimes. And, that's the part that I love. I love helping people work through those roadblocks. Like, for a lot of people, they think like, I can't do this because my life is, chaotic, but that isn't true. It's like, let's, talk through the roadblocks and the chaos and, find a way through so that you can, feel so much better.
Yeah. I'm a big believer in that too. I think the lack of success rate out there in general, I think, is because people don't have the proper guidance along the way. Getting a scan and getting results and getting a bag of tricks that will definitely elevate them and help them is easy. And then, when they're back at home 23 hours out of the day, that's where the real work takes place. And they're usually by themselves, or they're in an environment that may not be conducive to them pursuing. So I'm a big believer in that. I just want to talk real quick, and then we'll sum this up. You mentioned that depending on the person's, I think it was phase 2, depending on the person's goal, they will stay in that goal, how much weight they want to lose. From a strategic practitioner point of view, you being also a coach to them in a sense, do you also maybe offer them options? So in other words, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I suspect that this metabolic balance cycle, if you will, could kind of be a rinse and repeat. So you could say, hey, we want to lose 120 pounds. We're going to take this, we're going to do this whole phase. We're going to get you down to 80 pounds, let's say, and then reintegrate that for a period of time as like the new homeostasis of patient X, and then recalibrate and go again, or do you actually just put them all in kind of a one-stop shop deal?
It's definitely option A. So there's actually a formula. So once you've reached 44 pounds of loss, then we need to like recalibrate.
Ah,
So if someone has more than that to lose, they'll stay in that phase 2 for the 44 pounds. And then we do a little bit of a reset and then we carry on.
love it. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, that's great. Okay. This is fantastic. So, weight loss, and it's safe to say, I mean, you've been able to crack the code, and provide people with a relief from this, I don't want to call it a burden, but you know, this condition that they would like to rectify in their life.
Yeah.
And you're doing it in a support, relationship currency based experience for every person that comes into you.
Yes.
Yeah. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay. So Dr. Cobi, where can people find out more information about you? I know the clinic is located in Maple Ridge. However, where can they find you online?
So my website is drcobi.com. So drcobi.com. Yeah, I'm located in Maple Ridge, but I have patients all over the world virtually as well. So distance is not an issue for us. You can go onto my website. You can click on the Metabolic Balance link if you want to read more about the program. You can book a free 15-minute, is this program right for me consultation with me, and we can see if you are a good candidate for that. And you can read all about the clinic and all the other services that we offer on the website.
Excellent. Excellent. And for this metabolic balance, because there are a lot of tests that are involved in that phase 1, is that something where people have to come in into the clinic for these tests?
Nope, they are given a lab requisition and they can go to their local lab.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the impact can be far reaching with this, with this program. Excellent.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Dr. Cobi, thank you for taking the time with me today. This is amazing. You're 18 years of of leading with love and doing your thing to help others. And you know, specifically, I know we honed in on weight loss today, but obviously there was a little talk about you know, you even said your sweet spot is women, and kind of going through a hormonal change or imbalance, if you will, and I think that's only one of the many things that you do at the clinic. And you know, maybe we'll get on again and talk about something more specific. Maybe we'll have a conversation more about the endocrine issue in today's women, for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Sounds
all right, community at large, thank you for joining us today. Make sure you check out drcobi.com. I'm telling you, metabolic balance, it's the Da Vinci Code of weight loss. And you have nothing to lose by clicking a mouse, checking it out, reading more about it, phone in, talk to Dr. Cobi for 15 minutes, and it'll change your life. All right.